It's dark. Nope.
That's
well,
that's bright.
It's
That's bright.
Yeah.
Bright light.
Hello.
Hi, y'all.
Let's see. Is this big enough? Can you see this or no?
Yeah. I see it.
How do I?
Oh, that pop out chat.
You want to make it bigger? I want to zoom in. I
Make it bigger.
I lost the zoom. I lost the zoom thing. Where's it at?
I can't see nothing.
That's weird.
Anybody here?
There's that. Oh, there it is.
That's from The Shining. Did anyone see The Shining? Okay. I love The Shining. That's like my favorite movie of all time.
A bee.
What?
I hear
Are you kidding me?
Where's that?
I don't hear a bee.
You don't hear that?
No. I
can't believe
I don't know if you know
that.
this, but this ear right here, this is what I hear.
I see you, says Brian.
That's what I hear in my ear constantly.
There's a bee in here somewhere.
I got punched in the face for put my nose in other people's business.
What's up, Brian?
Hi, Brian.
Yeah, there's totally a bee.
Where is it?
That window, but I'm not.
I gotta go check it out. Oh, I see it. It's on the front door. Ow!
Oh, let it out.
I'm letting it out.
Hurry up.
Don't sting me.
There's a bee in here, y'all.
I'm a bee.
I'm trying to let it out.
I'm a bee. Ah!
We're gonna have to turn this light off. Hey up.
Oh man, no! I don't want that light. It hurts my eyeballs.
Well, but
I don't want that.
Hola. ¿Cómo está usted?
¿Cómo? Oh. I brought this in case I need it. I brought a blanket. It's light. Normally it's not light when we do this.
Yeah, but it won't last very long, and I still think we're a little dark.
I can't see.
Without the light.
I can't see. Do I hear another?
Pedro TT.
Hi, Pedro.
Hey, guys. First time I make it on your live. Got home early. Well, welcome. Where you at?
Where you at, Pedro?
As the time just changed. I mean, this might be different for some people with the time changing.
I was outside.
Everywhere other than Arizona.
I was outside a lot today. My face is... I forgot to put on sunblock.
Pam needs a sombrero from Mexico.
I have one.
We have one, right? Yeah.
We might
probably have a couple.
We might have a couple.
She's got some.
Out there. Next week I should wear the sombrero.
Totally. For the light. Soon, maybe, we'll be able to leave the lights off and just use the outside light, but it's going to get dark while we're in here. But
I have something on.
There's Warren.
Hello, Warren.
Hello, and welcome to another episode.
Let's build a house.
Enjoy the show.
Don't forget to ask Brian when the house is going to be finished.
Sweet intro, Warren.
Hey, Brian.
San Diego Sheriff Deputy, almost 1 year to retirement. Whoa! Oh. Congratulations. Oh, that's not a question, Scott.
Scott, here we go again.
What'd you say now?
I said, I feel like I have hair on me.
I'm sure you do. You're covered in hair.
I'm covered in hair.
Yeah. You got hair hanging off your head. Stockton, Texas. Oh, geez, Warren is all over the place, huh? You're still working.
He has to make a living.
Gotta make that sweet money. Minnow Mimi. That's Sherry.
Oh, Minnow Mimi.
If you pay attention,
are you in the house?
Questions are to be in all caps, and your questions are ignored.
She is not paying attention.
That's my sister, in case anyone's wondering.
Fort
I can ignore
Stockton.
her. All right. So how many bales is it going to take? Again, all caps.
Okay.
So he puts his statement in all caps and his question, and that's my brother-in-law, so I can make fun of him too. Rude. I'm actually in the process of looking for a spot out there in Cochise. Wife and I want to get out of Cali. You won't be the only ones running away from Cali to here, probably.
Oh, sorry.
So
I'm interrupting.
Congratulations.
We're gonna get in trouble for interrupting each other. Well, just for those of you out there, we interrupt each other all the time.
Timing.
I wanted to tell Pedro that Taylor and Melissa they wanted to sell some of their land.
That's true. We have some friends who they have 10 acres.
Malin
and I think
Tom.
They want to sell 5. Hi, Dad Malin. Oh boy, all caps now. So, okay, so and this isn't new, so we can answer this one. So Scott says, how many bales is it going to take?
So Pedro, let me know if you're if you need
sure.
info.
They'll probably be on here at some point.
Opt out AZ.
They will be opt out AZ.
Okay. So
let's see. It should take. We got 120 bales. So yeah, are we? Is it 6 o'clock? Well, that's not quite 6 o'clock. But I think the last time we talked, last Wednesday, we were originally scheduled to get our bales on Wednesday last week, and we did not. They called the day before, and they pushed it back a day. Now, there's some videos out there, so maybe you guys have already seen all this, but they came Thursday instead of Wednesday. So we went Thursday morning, and we picked up our bales in 2 loads or 2 trips. We
had to sit there for an hour. That was fun.
We borrowed a flatbed trailer from a friend. And we got there at 9 o'clock. They opened at 9. The straw guy didn't show up till around 10. And the problem was, we've been really windy around here lately, and it tends to pick up, as the day goes on. So the problem, it wasn't necessarily that big of a deal that we had to wait an hour. And, I don't know how far those things are coming away from. So I don't know where they're coming from. It might be hard to hit an exact time, but the problem was, I knew the wind was coming. So we were a little worried about that, but we got our first load, I guess around 10 o'clock. They had to load it onto the thing, but that only took a few minutes. We had to tie it up a little bit.
We didn't tip him. Were we supposed to?
What do you tip a straw guy? Did you get that? That's from Seinfeld. What do you tip a wood guy? That's a
wood guy.
She didn't get the reference.
I know now.
Good one, Brian.
Is it 6 o'clock? Is it 6 yet?
It is 6:01 now, so we're good.
We're officially on board.
Yeah, so we got our first bale. Our first load. We probably didn't even get it home till 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock. Maybe 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor and Melissa met us here. Yeah, they met us here. And we unloaded. The first load was 68 bales. Hi, Mom. 68 bales in the first load. We got them all under the carport, kind of in the middle section of the carport. Then we went back, or I went back for a second load. You stayed here.
I stayed here because there's so much loose straw.
Oh man,
what a mess! I was like raking up all the straw and putting it in garbage bags because we'll use that in our plaster later.
So we got a bunch of loose straw,
and I got like 4 garbage bags worth, and we were all just covered in straw. It was fun. What did
I see Pedro
say?
asking about the land. We were looking at 2 properties plus sister, and there's finally. I'll just throw it out there, Pedro. If you're interested, if you want to know more, email us. Email us at MidlifePrices at gmail.
At gmail.com. And we'll give you all the info.
And we'll let you know what's going on. But yeah, they're looking they have 10 acres, and I think they're wanting to sell half.
10?
So
they have 10?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, 68 bales in the first load. 52 in the second. And the second, I did get it home before the wind kicked up. Probably got home around noon with it, maybe. And it didn't take us all that long to unload them. But I probably got home around noon. I got home before the wind was blowing. But the wind started blowing a good bit when we were unloading that second load. So we had a bunch blowing, blowing our faces. I mean, there was a lot of loose straw.
I had on goggles.
So,
I wore goggles.
Yeah.
Because
Pam had the high school chemistry goggles, basically.
My eyes are messed up enough.
And a mask. Hey, Taylor and Melissa.
Hi, Taylor and Melissa. We might have your land sold.
Yeah.
We're selling land on your place.
So we got 120 bales. And that should be, when are you guys going to put your email address in a bug? A bug. It's in. I don't think people do that all that often, but
our wives' heads are falling off.
Oh, that picture with Pam's head off was pretty funny.
Who knows that? What that's from?
I know what that's
our
from.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
So our email address is in all of our videos in the description. But if people watch them on TV, they might miss that stuff. But it's out there. And I think there's a way, even though I've never really, or at least it's been a while since I tried to actually contact somebody through YouTube. I think there's a way when you go to somebody's YouTube channel that you can actually one of the tabs you can click on or something. I think you can contact, and our email address is probably there too. So not that hard to find us, but so yeah, 120 bales. It should be more than enough. As I think I've described this before, I went into SketchUp basically and drew our perimeter of our house, which is 30 by 24, or at least very close to that, right? And then I drew a bale in 3D of the dimensions, and the bales differ in dimensions slightly. You know, they're not exact, but I drew a bale. And then I just dropped them around the thing, and I didn't bother with cutting any of them up. So I got a little bigger than the perimeter of our house, just a little bit. And
Hi, Tom.
and I did that 4 courses up.
Another Tom.
Hey, Tom, common man.
Sorry.
I did that 4 courses up, which because our bales will be laying on edge, they'll be about 2 feet tall. So that 4 courses will be about 8 feet. And when I did that, with no cutout for doors or windows or anything like that, and a little bigger than our house, it came to 120. So 120 bales should do it for us. It should even leave enough, you know, more than enough probably to kind of chop some up after the fact and use it for plaster.
Well, so we'll probably have a lot
bales.
of.
I digress.
Whenever you're handling them,
half of the audience is family. It is, yeah.
When you're handling them or moving them around, they lose a lot of straw. So also the birds like them. I've had birds flying out in their face.
Yeah. So we put them under the carport, and the birds are coming in and out like crazy. I assume they're taking
using it for
to
their
nest.
nests.
Now I've been watching, as Brian will probably ask, B. Avondale. I think he mentioned when I built the carport, I think it was him, that birds would probably love to nest up in there, and I'm sure they will. But I've been checking it often, and I don't see them yet. And even when they're coming in to get that straw, I'm a little surprised that they're not building nests up on the little, because there's spots on top of those beams, but they haven't done it yet. So, but I'll be watching. But yeah, they're coming in and taking that straw
It's that time
little
of
bit
year.
at a time out of there. So
yeah, we had one a bird nest in the very front of the RV
multiple times,
and every time you walk outside, the bird would leave the nest and fly out in your face.
Oh yeah.
And then they had a baby bird. It fell out of the nest into the wheelbarrow.
Luckily there was a wheel, but this is up under the 5th wheel portion of in the front here. So
and then it flew away.
It lived. Yeah. But yeah, it was freaky. You know, they're literally up under the little 5th wheel connection, you know, up in the front. There's like a little, so they would build a nest up in there, and they'd be perfectly happy. But the second you open the front door to go out, you know, the parents would kind of scatter. So it would freak you out when you'd walk out, and they'd kind of fly right in front of your face. And good one, Cher.
So when the little bird fell,
a little what bird?
Nobody's gonna understand.
That's
why we're
inside
laughing.
joke, everybody. Sorry,
it's a family joke.
Yeah, since half the crowd is family here, so
but the little bird, remember, it fell in the wheelbarrow, but the parents still came and fed it every day. It was it was so cute.
And it's a good thing that wheelbarrow was there. I'll bet he would have gotten.
Oh, it would have probably been attacked by ants or something. Oh, and I saw a lizard today, so that means the snakes are probably out. Like
Warren said. So good point, Warren. There is the potential for sure for snakes to be out there.
Tires.
Status of tires. So status. So I did. So I made a video. Or Pam made the video, actually.
Your mom said not funny.
So Pam made a video, actually, and I kind of stole it for MidlifePrices of us kind of unloading the straw shortly after, you know, our talk last week. And then, this is a children's story?
No, I don't know.
Baby bird?
I don't know. Baby birdies.
So then, let's see, a couple days later, actually just yesterday maybe, I put out the video for the plumbing. Now, it wasn't me actually doing the plumbing, but it was kind of a little recap of all the things I've learned about this one little stretch of plumbing that I need to do. So so I was actually out today. I know he asked about tires, but the plumbing plays into it. I was out today gluing together or cementing together the pieces of piping. I did all the straight pieces. So they start kind of inside the house, and they come out through 2 sets of tires. One set, which is the actual perimeter of the house, and the second set, which is the outer kind of retaining wall for the dirt. And so they have to, and that's what I needed to do before I could fill a lot more tires, because I need to know where that pipe sits. So I did that today. I didn't connect up to the septic yet, but I plan on doing that tomorrow because I have to cut some pipes. I just did whole pipes to 10-foot pieces with couplings on them. So I didn't cut anything today actually. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do the cut pieces and I'll replace our connection that we have now with a connection that continues on to the house.
Hi, Jim.
And then after that, we will get back to filling tires. Now it's a sort of a tedious task, but it's not complex or anything. So we'll get back
retracted.
to that. What'd you say, Brian? Brian gives a lowdown on the entire plumbing code. Yeah, I went, on a good portion of the plumbing code, not like I said in the video, I focused on kind of the outside the house. So there's a whole nother piece that I'll admit I don't even understand all of it yet that has to do with venting and things. So, and I meant to say it in the video that it's important to think about venting because it's that idea of, you take a milk jug full of water and you dump it and it kind of gurgles, glug, 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 glug. So venting in your plumbing system is to prevent that.
I like venting.
If you don't,
I do it often.
If you don't have air coming in as the water leaves, you'll get that glug, glug, and you'll have kind of backflow and things. So I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I like venting. I vent to everyone. Thank you, Tom, for subbing. I saw. I'm sorry. I can't talk.
Oh, Green Dream's here? I missed it.
I said hi, Jim. You didn't hear me say hi, Jim.
Oh, I missed it. My bad. Oh, he says gives a lowdown on the plumbing code. I actually thought that was Warren that said that. My bad. Hey, Jim. And Jessica. So yeah. So status of the tires. Unfortunately, no change, but putting that pipe in place will allow us to get back to the tires. And of course, anybody around here, probably even in Phoenix, the weather's been kind of crap for the last couple of days.
Oh,
today was beautiful.
Today was awesome.
We had a ton of wind.
That's why my
and
face
cold.
is red.
Oh, interesting story, related to the bales. So, and I didn't really, this didn't happen until after. Asking for Pam. First night in the house. I'm gonna put her out. I'm gonna have her sleep out in the bales under the carport soon. I think
I can squeeze in there in between the bales.
So yeah, after we put those bales out there, so we started in the center kind of portion of the carport so that the bales would be set in from the edges, right, so that they wouldn't really get hit by any rain or anything. Now on the ends as they went out, I covered the ends. So anyway, I started in the middle and then I moved over to one of the side bays and I went to the edges of those bays. So I wrapped tarps around the outer edges just in case, it's a little set back from the edge of the carport, so it shouldn't get a lot of water or anything, but I did tarp them just in case blowing rain and stuff comes in. But for the set of bales, that's in the middle, on one side, they stop kind of in that middle bay. So there's another 10 feet or more of roof, right, before you get to the edge of the carport. So I thought, well, there's no point in, I don't need to cover that. Nothing's going to get in there. So, of course, 2 days ago or whatever, early in the morning, we had snow here.
Yesterday.
Now, was it yesterday?
That was yesterday.
So it was only like 39 degrees or something. It wasn't anywhere near freezing, really.
It was 39 yesterday and almost 80 today.
And it was crazy windy, so our snow was just blowing sideways because it was real light.
I had a video on it.
So it blew right into the bales. Now, it didn't snow for very long, and it wasn't very heavy stuff. You couldn't really tell on the video how much it but snow blew right into those bales, even though they were set back way far from the edge of the carport. So that was kind of strange, but
I think they were fine.
But it's not an issue. So, Mikal, Jim and Jessica are lazy lately.
Mikal. Hi, Mikal. I would call Jim and Jessica very hard workers. And it seems like we haven't been doing much.
Oh, Scott wants the baby Yoda.
It's up here. Come and get it. You can have it.
You should show the baby Yoda. I don't know if everybody's seen it.
Do I have? Okay.
Yeah, you should show it. Okay. Hi, Mikal. Where's Mikal from?
Here, you show it, then hand it back to me.
All right, this is it. There's the baby Yoda, in case you haven't seen it. You would have done a video on this on your channel, right?
Yeah, I did.
There you go. Baby Yoda. Scott wants it.
Come and get it.
Chicago. Ooh.
If you want
What's the
it,
weather like in
here
Chicago?
it is. Come and get it.
Sherry likes
But
it.
you better hurry. I don't like that song.
Building some cleats.
Did I
Jim
just
says.
scratch you?
Yeah, you did.
It's
That
it's not-
particular
oh,
one
crap.
isn't going on Etsy. I don't think, is it?
I
But
was gonna put it on Etsy,
thanks, Warren. Warren says that's awesome.
but I haven't done it yet. I forgot about it. I've been very busy painting a big rock,
So Jim's working.
painting a giant rock.
Yeah, we had really nice weather today. Today was gorgeous, 70 and sunny,
Yeah, some
and
some
low
people.
wind even. So
There's some people in the South having very bad weather.
Yeah.
And like it was hailing and then a tornado or something, or tornado warning.
is Grogu. I'll admit I'm not a Star Wars or Mandalorian person.
I just think the
Is
Baby Yoda's
Grogu
cute.
Baby Yoda? I don't even
I
know
don't
what
know,
that.
Jim.
I don't
You
even know
have
what
to
that
ask
means.
Jim.
I don't know.
I guess that Baby Yoda's name is Grogu. I didn't know that.
I don't know anything.
It's so nice. He said it twice. Was that an accident or is everything happening twice?
So plumbing
Redacted.
is this close to in. It's partially in, and that means we can get back on the tires. So we'll be working on tires now, and we've got the bales waiting. Hopefully a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping by the end of the month to be stacking bales.
You know what I noticed, that a lot of times, and I think we both do this, we tend to stall.
Not a Star Wars fan.
I'm not. He's talking like Yoda. You tend to
stall.
You do a lot of things in the morning and you don't get going very fast. And I'm the same way.
Well,
and I feel like you're stalling.
But I don't stall.
We did get the tires for free.
Yes, we did get the tires for free from a tire shop that wanted to.
They're glad
them, right?
to.
So yeah,
because they have to pay a disposal.
I would venture to say almost anybody, with few exceptions, wherever you live, if you wanted tires, if you found a local tire shop, it's almost certain that you could probably get access to a bunch of tires, because they have to get rid of those things and they're not allowed to dump them, anywhere. So it's usually not very hard to get access to something like that if anybody's interested. So
Eric.
It was nice.
I believe it's
country.
Eric.
So yeah, we even had low winds.
It's Eric.
I think fight, Scott. We're not fighting yet.
Not yet. Did we have a fight today?
Nah.
I don't think we never fight. We get along very well.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks.
You're right, Warren.
Thanks, Warren. Boy, Warren is on the ball there.
Love it. Good job, Warren. So
we don't fight very often.
What else? So that's
Sometimes he gets tired of me nagging him.
The
Stop it.
I mean, I don't want to say procrastinating, but yeah, I got in a bad habit in the winter of kind of starting my day slow because it was cold out a lot, right? So and it depends on what I'm working on, right? So for me, it's not about like not wanting to do it or being lazy or whatever, or even just putting anything off. When I know, it has to do with whether I know what I'm doing or not. If I know what I'm doing, I'll be out there first light and I'm working on it.
Sherry has questions.
If I don't know what I'm doing or I'm worried about what I'm doing, then I'll find things to.
I'm good, Eric. How are you?
I'll go slow. So
Sherry wants to know why you made me go to the shed. So he was trying to do a voiceover for that video, or not a voiceover. He was filming the.
Yeah, I made that plumbing video right here.
And he didn't want me in here making noise.
Yeah.
Because it's so small.
And she'll question me the whole time, right? And
I'll judge you.
Talk, and she'll judge me.
Like you do.
When I try and make those kinds of videos. Now, luckily, I was smart on this one. I kind of made a script. And I sort of had it on the screen in like bullet points and stuff. So I did pretty decent. But usually when I try to voice over some of my videos and stuff, I mess it up 10 times or whatever. And Pam says, that one was good. Just use it. And I made her get out of here to make that video.
I needed to do something though anyway. So I was wanting to do some filming of the snow, because the sideways snow.
What do you think about building a bunker out there? Shelter?
I would like to build a what do you call it? A root cellar. We call it a storm cellar.
The bunker thing really isn't our style all that much, really. So I mean, we don't think about that much. But yeah, I mean, a cellar
maybe someday
for like canning and stuff like that in the future would
we'll
be
finish
nice.
Eventually.
But, we're not bunker people, I don't think, really. But but it's not really
My
our
dad was
style.
like Archie Bunker.
I would.
We used to
That's
call
probably pretty accurate.
my mom and dad are like Archie and Edith, or were like a long time ago.
Wine cellar. Oh, geez, Sherry.
You're
warm? Wow.
I am so hot. My face is burning.
This is the first time I've been in front of this, probably on our lives, like not with a sweatshirt and maybe even a hat on in quite a while. It's very.
It's so weird.
Comfortable.
Yesterday, I was under the electric blanket for half a day, and today I'm like burning.
That really was yesterday?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, yesterday was. I don't even think we cracked 50 degrees.
Yeah, it was 49 for the high.
There might be some people other places in the country that think that's not that bad, but for us, that's pretty chilly. So. But so that's about it. So yeah. Basically, this past week, there was some decent progress, but it was stuff that I've been planning on doing for a long time. So it's not like I have anything super new to report, but I finally kind of pulled the trigger on some of the things that we've been talking about for a long time. I got the bales, and like I said, the plumbing is partly in, so it's in enough to start working on tires again. So that's, as far as status goes, I think that's where we're at.
Jim and Jessica.
We're done with their dome to hear up in the basement.
Yeah, they're gonna be in the summer.
That'll be. I'm sure that'll be nice.
They'll probably be in theirs, and we will be still probably finishing.
That's one of the nice things about
hopefully.
That's one of the nice things about earth ships. It's basically like building a cave, right? And you pretty much stay,
excuse me,
almost at the ground temperature. So, yeah, that would. I mean, temperature-wise, that would be nice. As far as the aesthetic, or we're just not bunker types. We won't be living underground. It's not our thing. But we want to bury conics for root cellar. Oh yeah.
USB.
We're going
electric blanket.
Yeah. Is your electric blanket USB? It is not USB.
What is USB?
Why do you still have free weights?
I'm using them.
Pam's using them.
I use them. I don't lift them heavy, but I use the rack.
She uses one of them.
I put myself on the rack every day. I do.
I will get back to
assisted pull-ups. I put my feet on the bars.
I have used them for stretches, even while we were out here. I've used them outside. When they were in the garage in a box, I used them fairly regularly, but it has been a little while. Are the bales of hay full size? They're straw. The bales are straw, not hay. But they are full size.
I kept doing that. I kept calling it hay in the beginning, but I used to be a trainer. I know, that's funny, isn't it? It's so easy to get certified as a trainer. I didn't feel qualified.
The bales.
I don't like to work weekends.
The bales are about. So if you laid them down kind of flat, which, like I said, when we use them for walls, we'll actually stand them up on their end. But laying them flat, they're about 14 inches tall. They're almost 4 feet long. They're probably about 44, 45 inches. And they're 2 feet wide. So actually, when we stand them up, they'll be 2 feet tall, and they'll be 14 inches thick in the wall.
They're making fun of me. I used to be. I work in a gym, and I was a trainer, but I never had any clients. But
so Mikhail's been waiting up for us to get going. Yeah, we're a little slow, so we're getting moving. It's about to get real.
The wheels are in motion.
The wheels are in motion.
He's really doing it. He always does what he says he's going to do.
I will do it.
Even if it takes him,
I am slow, but I will do it.
Obviously,
I will do it. You're just in time, Mikhail.
Do you know, for those of you out there who don't know it, Brian, we used to have boats, and we used to wakeboard and wake surf, and Brian told me, I'm going to do flips in the air, and I'm like, yeah, right. And I didn't believe
I probably
him.
would have said the same thing if I were you.
And then
she said, yeah, you're not doing that.
And I was like, yeah, you're going to end up in a wheelchair or something and break your neck. And
I did break my nose.
I did. That's a funny story. Yeah, he did do the flips, and he was really, really good.
It's probably because we bought those expensive boats. So you can't ride around in that expensive boat and not do any cool tricks.
He used to watch these videos constantly on.
Constantly.
Remember those all those DVDs you had. You spent like $1,000 on
videos. I had all of them. I watched them frame by frame. I videotaped myself and watched myself frame by frame doing these things and analyzed it to death. Surprising.
We should have started a channel back then.
Jim.
If only we had a time machine. We're always saying that. If only we had a time machine, I would have thrown the football over the mountain. You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
Did you get that? Okay, what's Pedro say?
Well, Scott said straw hay. What's the difference? So one of the differences between straw, as
that's
you
funny,
say,
Pedro,
Scott, is so I'm allowed to make fun of him.
Who are you afraid of?
Scott said straw.
I can't see anything.
Straw hay. She can't see. So horses eat hay. They sleep on straw. Now, someone, and I should know this off the top of my head. I'm sure I've Googled it before, and someone else might know, but the technical difference has something to do with, I think, the stalk maybe versus the actual like wheat or I think they're both maybe even from the same thing. It's just one is the straw maybe is more the stalk of the plant as opposed to the, I don't know.
I'm laughing at Jim. Jim keeps, you're going to make people think that we really stole your bales.
Your wife insisted on sending a picture. I told her a nice way to scare them off quick and fast. She said
his wife
with the field mice. Oh, just emailed. Your wife insisted. Wheat straw. Jerk.
So just so y'all know, a couple of these people are family members. So
if you pay any attention to the
never mind
the insults flying. That's just common stuff. Straw is what's left over from wheat harvest. There it is, Warren. Thank you.
Oh.
No. Jim's lying. Those are our bales.
Jim's always threatening to come for our bales, but we got traps sitting there. I think I saw a mouse come out, or I think I saw some mice.
The bales?
Mouse. What do you call those balls of mice?
Oh,
nests?
Like their little
I can't
fur.
talk.
Their little fur.
Their little fur balls.
There's little balls of fur sometimes already in the bales when they're like strung up and everything.
There was all kinds of stuff in there.
Do you worry about ground squirrels with straw bale house? So
I worry about ground squirrels all the time.
We have. Did we decide they are
pocket gophers?
We decided that we have pocket gophers around here, we think, as opposed to squirrels. Not that we couldn't have squirrels, but we do get a ton of mounds around here on our property, and we think they're pocket gophers.
I looked it up because I saw one. I looked it up. It is a pocket gopher.
We do worry about that a little bit, but actually, so if you think about it, the way it's going to work is the bales will actually be on top of a couple of things, right? They'll be on top of a sill plate, which is a piece of wood, or a couple of pieces of wood. And there'll be, so that wood will be kind of in the form of almost like a ladder. Think of a ladder like laid down on the ground. It'll have two sides, it'll have two pieces of wood running so that the bale can sit on top of those two pieces of wood. So there'll be a little cavity kind of underneath it. And in that cavity will either be gravel or some sort of insulation or something. And it serves a couple purposes. One, insulation. Two, it's a capillary break for water coming up through the ground. So anyway, the point of all that is, so there will be the sill plate, which will have something in the cavity, and then there will be two levels of tires that it's going down. So, so it'll be tough, I think, for squirrels and or gophers to go up and actually go into the bales. And as far as from the outsides and everything, the bales won't actually touch the ground, right? They'll be up off the ground a little bit. And that's for a couple reasons. One, for critters. Two, for water, hitting. The higher the bales are up off the ground, the less likely they are to get kind of a splash effect and get wet down at the bottom. Not that they won't get hit with water, they will, and they'll be, plastered over. So they'll be kind of protected. The only way something could get through is literally coming up through the tires and coming through whatever kind of gravel or insulation or whatever we have there and going into the bale. So there's an outside shot that's possible, but I think it's a long shot.
Are we going to put a lot of cardboard under that too?
And there also will be, we're going to do 2 layers of tires. And on that second layer of tires, we'll put cardboard in the bottom of that tire so that the dirt, as we try and pound one tire on top of another tire, and they're kind of what do you call that? Staggered.
Stair step.
They're staggered. If you didn't put cardboard in the bottom of that tire that's on top of another tire, when you put dirt in there, it would just fall right out. So anyway, the point is there's a lot of things kind of stopping them from getting up into those bales. I'm actually a little more worried, to tell you the truth, of them coming up in our earthen floor. But again, they'd have to get under that level of tires that's out and all the way into the house. I think it's kind of a long shot.
Hello, Terry and Michelle.
Long answer I think it's kind of a long shot. I'm not too worried about it.
I want to address something that Warren said. I don't really want to get a cat because I don't want to have to take care of the cat, and I'm allergic to cats. I worry about, I worry too much about animals.
She doesn't like the way cats treat mice when they get them.
They torture them to death, and I can't do that.
What we think is a more likely thing for
Day.
natural. Oh yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. I didn't know that was a thing.
He doesn't have green on.
I don't think I have anything green actually, but we are not drinking tonight, surprisingly. But
I had one earlier.
I didn't even think about it.
You didn't see it?
Oh, you did have one.
It was just
so
barely any.
What was I talking about? Oh, we think the more likely kind of natural critter prevention for us is going to be an owl, hopefully. So we're gonna when we get a chance between some projects, we plan on building an owl box and putting it somewhere so that we can have an owl kind of probably up on this hill that we have here somewhere, so that an owl can kind of look over, and we think that would do some rodent control. So we know we have owls around here. We just have to give them a place to kind of nest. So we are planning an owl box in the future, and that'll be our form of a cat. We're probably not going to get a cat, but everybody always says get a cat.
I don't want to have to worry about feeding it and it torturing the mice.
Pam, you're going to do some artwork when it comes plastering time.
Yes,
I hope so.
I want to do something. I don't know what.
She'll do something.
I'll do something. I need to work on. I want to work on the pizza oven and finish it up. My goal.
How about a falcon?
I've seen hawks.
Hawks.
I haven't seen a falcon.
I don't know about a falcon.
I don't know. I don't really know the difference.
Oh, Sherry, yeah. Sherry's backdoor neighbor has a fake owl that's like a camera and its head moves.
Let's see what Pedro says. Speaking
from across the border. I think that guy's you were drinking or almost finished.
Yeah,
we did a live from the condo once.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, we definitely had a drink.
That was a good time. What about outside cat? Oh, I just
still
the way I am, I worry too much about everything. So I would be.
Also, the reality,
by coyote.
The reality, is probably that we would probably have to get 5 cats for one to survive, right? Because there are predators out there that
I couldn't do that.
If you wanted an outside cat, so we'd probably have to get 5 cats and assume we were going to lose 4 of them and hope one kind of makes it. And
no,
it's a thought,
I don't want
but
that to happen.
But she doesn't want that to happen. She doesn't want the cats to get the mice and play with them when they kill them and all that. So it's just not.
Even when we had to do traps a couple of times, and I could not. I made him do all the.
Are you almost done with the pizza?
I am almost done, but I don't know whether or not it'll work. We'll see.
She actually does have a version of her second kind of go round of the pizza oven that is done. Now, I think it's a little thin, but it definitely has better dimensions than the other one did. So it's got a better shot at working, but the outside of it is a little thin. I think it should have probably been a little thicker. But so I don't know that this will be the one either, but I think it's got a better shot than the first one did.
I have only seen one scorpion in 3 years, and that was under a brick. I was moving some bricks, and it was underneath a brick.
Oh, a scorpion? I think I've seen maybe one around here. Yeah.
JJ? Hi, JJ. I don't know if I've
so
ever
Pedro
seen JJ.
Pedro said after watching and missing the one from the condo, I said I can't miss another one. I'm glad it's nice to hear you say that. Not everybody likes to see us just kind of hang out and just have a drink and it's not for everybody, but we like doing that. So I'm glad somebody liked it.
Do you ever see snakes out there? Yes.
Sure.
I've probably seen 4 rattlesnakes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
4 rattlesnakes, and I've probably seen like 3 or 4 non
I bumped the table.
venomous.
Yeah, probably not as many as people might think. Because yeah, in 3 years, I think we've probably seen maybe 3 or 4 rattlers. We haven't killed any of them. Didn't really have a need to. It's not like they were under the trailer or anything like that. You know, just kind of off in the distance. The one that was probably nice I guess, sunset. And I wasn't even there. The scariest one, I would say, is one that Pam kind of came across, and it didn't rattle. So it was close to her, and it didn't rattle. And those are the scary ones, actually. If they rattle, you know, we're perfectly happy leaving them alone. I watched one literally go right across our driveway one time. It was
slow.
I forget which year it was, but it was coming into like wintertime.
Sherry.
And he was real slow. So, I mean, there was no real worry. I just watched him. I just made sure he kind of went off toward the mountain and not like under our trailer. And as long as he didn't come towards us, I didn't really care. So we've seen a couple, and we've seen a couple other non-venomous. So yeah, we've seen some snakes, but never really been concerned about any of them. Cobras. The other thing we see is tarantulas. We definitely have tarantulas.
I like tarantulas.
Big ones, as a matter of fact, and they tend to come out after rains. But again, they've never really bothered us. But they're big. I mean, it's like being at a zoo. I mean, they are big. So that's interesting. But we really haven't had anything that I felt was threatening to us.
No.
So, and actually, the one, I guess for me, the one that was most scary, and it wasn't our fault. It was kind of a leftover. When we first got here, the previous owner had left something kind of in the front yard area. It was like a plastic bed liner from a truck, and it was just kind of there. I think he used it, and he piled some rocks on top, and basically used it like a tarp. And because it was kind of hard plastic, I guess it kind of probably had some space underneath it. And I just ignored it for a while.
Oh wait, no,
and then eventually I said, I better go, move that thing or whatever. And I did think about that there might be something underneath it, so I was very careful. And as I was moving it, there was a rattlesnake under it, and he was not happy. But I was messing with his home, so
why did you?
I basically left him alone, and actually, strangely, a day or two.
It.
Yeah.
Did you just say this?
A day or two after I tried to move it, I took the rocks off the top of it, and when he started rattling like crazy, I basically just left him there. A day or two later, a big wind came, and because I had taken the rocks off of the top of this thing blew across the yard, and that rattlesnake, we never saw it again. So, but he was not happy with me. But I left him alone. Because I was messing with his spot really, and that was, like I said, that was a holdover from the previous owner. We try not to keep things around that would make a nice home like that. That's really your best defense, I think.
They don't ever. We've been out here this long, and I don't see any reason to kill them. That way, they'll kill the mice and stuff.
Yeah, Jim and Jessica have seen a lot of snakes out there. I know. I think they have a lot of kind of grassland there that they've got a nice habitat, I think, for snakes, unfortunately for them. So,
how long are we
going
for?
Well, I don't know, as long as we feel like going. So I've gotten behind as I was talking there. So Jim says something about a Mojave Green. Pedro says, "You remind me of how I like to be. It's better to be laid back and relaxed." Yeah, we're pretty laid back.
Pretty laid back.
Jim gets all the fun stuff.
A good stew.
Must be Jessica. So
high
sweet.
desert off grid. Oh, hi there. Okay. Did he tell me his name? High desert off grid.
Ooh.
It's not because Moses is High Desert Homestead.
That's right. That's Moses.
So High Desert off grid. Roger. Who's Roger?
There's like RG Homestead, I think, which is Roger.
Okay. I'm sorry. There's so many
I
different
wouldn't kill them all. I just think they would make a nice meal.
I apologize that I can't remember. Mark and Michelle. Okay, so we have Terry and Michelle.
There's a lot of AZ.
And we have Mark and Michelle. Okay.
And there's a lot of high desert, and there's a lot of those.
Yeah, I am going to bed after this.
So Brian
Can you tell him in my nightgown already?
Brian said, "How'd your pipe connection work out?" pretty good. Like I said, I haven't completed it yet, but today, so just before the live actually, or a little before I ate dinner, I put together all the full length pieces, the 10 footers. I just put them together with the couplings. So I glued those together with ABS cement. This is all ABS.
Hello, 13 moons.
So the reason I have to do that again is so that I can kind of hit the gap in those tires, to make sure the tires are sitting in the right place before we fill them, because they're not really very movable once you fill them. So I've got all the full pieces down. So I'll go back out tomorrow. So all that's left is kind of the part that's right where I have to cut the existing and add a new kind of T or Y to go up for the RV connection and to continue on. And I have to actually add a little bit of an elbow, a 22.5 degree, just to kind of kick over towards the house. But it's a short little section that's left. I have the long pipe done, and I just have to kind of connect up to there's maybe 5 or 6 feet that I have to make a connection and put in that bend, and the bend up and the bend kind of sideways.
Do you wear gloves when you mess with this pipe?
I do.
Does it have anything in it, the pipe?
Oh,
it's
no.
It's an empty pipe.
No, yeah, it's
the
empty.
One from the
even
sewer.
the pipe that, I mean, it's empty. I mean, it runs toward the septic. It'll, when I do kind of cut the septic line to kind of connect up, it either usually would have a cap on it, or right now the RV is connected to it. But there will be a smell when I open that thing up.
I don't want to be. I don't have to help you do it.
No.
Are you going to wear a nose plug?
No, it's not that bad. And it won't take that long.
I'm already melting.
So,
I'm going to be in trouble.
What else we got going on here? Ask questions in all caps. Thanks, Warren. We're a couple thumbs up behind. 13 Moons. Hello, welcome.
And now I'm trying to remember. I think it's Lynette.
Is it?
Is it Lynette? Lynette.
So when are you getting doors and windows? Now that's a good question. So
that is a good question. Asking for me.
I keep saying, as soon as we get this this foundation, this footer ready, we'll be stacking bales. But actually, to the way the sill plate works,
I got it right.
On the sill plate, you definitely need to leave a kind of a break for doors. And we're going to have a front and a back door, probably a regular sized front door, just a single door, and probably a double door, either sliding or probably French in the back. So we have to leave space for those. So you want to know. So I'm not too worried about that, because for those, we'll probably do a very standard size, and there's a pretty standard size that you can leave a rough in for those. But when it comes to windows, we do have to make a decision very soon about whether we want to get any kind of special windows or try and get windows from any kind of.
I thought you told me we couldn't, because then if something happened later down the road.
I didn't say we couldn't. I said if you're going to get anything that's non-standard, that's not just, I'm going to go to Home Depot and get a,
if it broke or
this
something.
by this window. If you're going to get anything other than that, you really do need to have it in hand so that you know exactly the space you need to leave.
Carrie wants to know where a comment went. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
It went into the internet.
So I'm leaning towards maybe just going to the big box stores for doors and windows, and that'll keep them very standard size. And again, if anything were to happen to them, they'll be much easier to replace. Whereas if you use a kind of a leftover door or window, or get something from some warehouse or secondhand or whatever, it might be harder if something were to happen. Wait a minute.
What if it's way cheaper at the
well, it could be way cheaper, or it could be cheaper, but there's, it's not always about cost. What if it's way cheaper and it's single pane? Or or it has no, so there's quality issues as well. Obviously, we want good quality windows, because we don't want to put all this effort into having 18-inch thick walls and then throw in a single pane window or something. You're going to lose all that. So I don't even care. I might not mess around with like secondhand doors and windows. Not that you can't. And not that you shouldn't. A lot of people will, and that's great. And you can save a lot of money with that stuff.
It's a little
I
early.
just don't know if that's going to be one thing.
It's a little early to talk trusses.
Oh, somebody brought up trusses?
Scott.
Who brought up trusses? What did you say?
Scott did.
Let's talk trusses?
I do want to do bottles somewhere. I don't, we might do bottles in the shower. I have a big a gigantic wine bottle. I think I poured half of it out because I didn't drink it fast enough. But you know what I'm talking about? That big jug one? Could we put that as a window? Are you even listening to me?
No. I was reading comments.
Ow.
Yeah. So.
But yes, I do plan to use bottles. We have a bottle collection.
Yeah. It's just a matter of where to put them, right? Because again, you orient the house to get the most out of the sun and to be protected from the sun at certain times and let the sun in at other times. And you have these thick walls for insulation and everything. So you want to be careful about where you place those so you don't kind of ruin any of that. So that's really, we definitely want to have some bottle walls, but we need to make sure we put them in the right places.
Actually, we do probably need to call the trust company and ask how long it takes them.
Yeah, so we just talked, Scott asked me that question last night on the phone, and I said, why don't you ask that on the live? Yeah, the reason it is a little early for trusses, but if we are going to order them from a trust company, which is likely, it's not definite yet, but it's likely, then we will have to find out. Yeah, I thought it might be something like 6 weeks. So we don't want to just wait until we have the walls up and say, okay, we're ready for a roof now. Now we're going to call the trust company, because then you'll just be sitting waiting. So even though that's still a little ways out, we probably do need to start making those phone calls and kind of getting ready for that, because there will be a lead time there for sure.
How will you finish the interior straw walls?
We will use the same plaster on the inside and the outside. It'll be an earthen plaster mix, probably with some lime in it. We'll use the same on the inside and the outside.
And also, I think on the
Habitat for Humanity, we that's a place ceiling. We haven't looked. We do need to check Habitat for Humanity.
I want to use some bamboo on the ceilings, because we saw that in another house that we went in, and it looks really cool, like the bamboo mat.
On the ceiling, we probably will do the interior ceiling. We probably will do a reed mat kind of thing.
We probably will use for some walls, probably some color in the plaster.
Probably.
What about electricity?
So electricity, that's one that I've kind of put off a little bit that I want to think about later. I think the only thing I need to be worried about at the moment is leaving a penetration in the house for the electricity to come in. We're on solar right now. We have it right outside. We have all the equipment. We have more panels up the hill from us here that will feed the house. It's just a matter of moving everything and getting it into the house. So as long as when we build those bale walls, we put a kind of a tube in somewhere, right, for a conduit to let that electrical come in from the outside. That's really the extent of my, thinking about it for now.
My brother is something
I'm putting off until a little later.
So. I don't know if his name's Mike, if he ever watch it. I don't know I doubt if he's watching.
We have not
but he's
thought out all the power outlets yet.
We might pay he lives in Texas, so we might get him out here. He's
but
never
if you
been
ran the
to
cable
Arizona.
under plaster, it would make it invincible? Or
invisible.
You're right. I haven't made that choice yet. So again, we're trying to take this in steps, and the step we're concerned with right now is getting dried in before the monsoons, right? Getting the outside done, getting the walls, the roof, windows and doors, and plaster on the outside so that we're protected from the weather. And then we can kind of, if it doesn't have to be figured out before that, we're kind of pushing that down the road a little bit, and we'll work the inside after the fact. I haven't really decided yet whether we're going to, you can run the electrical cables like right in between the bales and the little gaps between the bales where they meet. You can do that pretty easily. I've also considered running both our electrical and plumbing sort of exterior to the wall. I know it sounds a little freaky, but if you think about, kind of the industrial look that some places have, it's usually up in the ceilings. And they do it a little bit with electrical. You'll see like conduit running to switches and outlets and things, and it'll be sort of exposed. I've thought about that and maybe covering it over with some sort of covering, but keeping the exterior to the wall for a couple reasons. One, it allows me to not really worry about it until I get to that point. And number two, easier to fix things. It'll be interesting with plumbing. I know there's issues of sound and all that, but
are we going to have traditional plumbing in the house? Lynette asks.
It will be pretty traditional. It's going to be super simple is all. I mean, everything we have was a wet wall, right? We kept, so really we just have, the only things that'll have water are the kitchen sink and the bathroom area. We've talked about potentially a dishwasher in the kitchen, maybe. And we've talked about potentially a clothes washer in the house. But other than that, it's just kitchen sink and a couple of bathroom fixtures. And they're all on the same wall. So it'll be pretty traditional, but it'll be incredibly simple. I really just have to get the kitchen sink to run over towards the bathroom. The bathroom's in kind of that corner of the house where everything's going to leave the house and go off to the septic. So it's going to be very
about a
simple.
Lightning rod? What's Billy talking about? Do you need a lightning rod?
I don't know what Billy's talking about.
We have a grounding rod. We already have one.
We do have a grounding rod.
We do watch Jim and Jessica, and it's really
We are all trying to beat the monsoon right now, says Warren. Yes. You guys need to watch Jim and Jessica. Oh, we definitely watch Jim and Jessica. So yeah, most of the stuff we're going to do, even though, we're building straw bale, that's not traditional, but other than that, I mean, maybe other than where it's placed when it comes to plumbing and electrical, it'll be fairly, I guess, traditional. It'll be incredibly simple because there just won't be that much. So, but I'll admit I haven't put a ton of thought into it, and that's on purpose because if I do, right, I wouldn't be able to move. So again, we're breaking it into pieces. At a time,
or else we'll freak out.
So right now we're focusing on just getting the walls up, and so I'm kind of I'm kicking that can down the road. Like I said, when it comes to plumbing and electrical, it's really just about, at this point, it's really just about making sure that there's a penetration to get in or out with water or waste.
We don't want to paralyze him electrical with fear.
But yeah, if I let myself think about it any more than that, I wouldn't be able to do anything. So I have purposely kind of pushed that out of my mind.
I saw a question about electrical outlets.
Oh, I see. Someone said Ascension Ranch said our electrical will be outside the wall, so it's accessible. So I'm thinking about kind of the same thing. And either just you'll be able to see the conduit, or I've thought about maybe covering it over with some sort of covering, whether that be natural or not. Or anyway, I haven't thought about it in detail, but but yeah, I'd kind of like it to be exposed. Even the plumbing. I know that sounds weird, but again, it's all only on one wall. So largely it would be behind maybe some cabinetry and things, and potentially under the floor. But as far as being
put a shelf in front of it,
as far as being inside the wall, I don't think it really needs to be, to tell you the truth, for us. So, and Dawn, Arizona,
affordable
desert living. Dawn, friend of ours, asked a valid question. He said, when it comes to plumbing, and I talked about leaving it kind of exposed or exterior to the walls, he said, what about sound? Which is a valid point, except that, again, everything is on kind of that one wall. And really, the only thing that's going to run any distance really is the kitchen sink over to the bathroom. And again, it's on this one wall. It'll all be kind of behind cabinetry and things. So I don't know that that's even going to be much of an issue. So we'll see. I don't know every detail of it yet, but in my mind, the little bit I've thought about it, I've thought I would love to leave those things sort of semi-exposed. Number one, just make them easier to do. And number two, make them easier to maintain after the fact if anything goes wrong. So if I'm crazy, hopefully someone will stop me, but that's kind of my thought at this point, that I'm going to try and keep that stuff sort of out in the open a little bit. And I think it could be kind of a cool look if you do it right. Maybe paint some pipes a certain color or whatever. I don't know. So paint some things copper, or, you can make them look a little industrial, or you can make them look,
we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
So
I was told it was the poor man's setup. That sounds good because we poor.
I was told it was the poor man's setup. Yeah.
Fireplace of some sort?
No plan. Again, our plan for cooling and heating is, fingers crossed, not to need it.
Well, we used to have a fireplace and we never used it.
Oh, so. No. but we didn't need it.
How high? 8
to heat
feet
anything.
or 10 feet ceilings?
No. So fingers crossed. Hopefully not going to need heat or cooling. Maybe I'm crazy. We are going to have, when it comes to cooling, we'll have a few ceiling fans in there, I think, just for ventilation, circulation. We'll try and be smart about ventilation to be able to try and cross ventilate the house. Just so we'll try and use natural methods to kind of cool and heat. Again, we'll have passive heating and cooling. That's one of the reasons we want an earthen floor and earthen walls, to try and take advantage of some passive heating and cooling.
We'll probably have a mini split,
but
that's my guess, because that's what we're using now.
That's my fallback position, is if it just doesn't maintain a comfortable temperature and we just can't get it to work, I think our fallback position will be a mini split. Number one, because I put one in here. I'm fairly comfortable with it. The house is small enough that one mini split would do it. We know kind of how well they work. It really works very well. It's quite efficient. We can buy a better one than we bought in here. We went kind of cheap in here. And the issue we have with the mini split in here is the problems of the RV being poorly sealed and poorly insulated. So those things shouldn't be an issue in the house, hopefully. So my fallback position is a mini split. If
what
we
about
have to.
The cooling tube like the Earthship has?
Cooling tubes, I would like to incorporate. I don't know if I can build them in kind of after the fact. I don't know if I can make a cooling tube work. I mean, it's an obvious sort of simple thing in an Earthship, because you have this big mound of dirt behind the Earthship, and you just kind of lay that cooling tube in place before you pile that dirt, and you get it kind of that easy. It's not quite that easy for us. We're going to have to go underground and bring it back up. And so there's some details about how to make that work that I don't know that I want to tackle just yet. So if I can make that happen kind of after the fact, after the house is built, I might try and incorporate it, because I love the idea of, and if you don't know, the idea behind cooling or heating tubes is that they run in the ground, whether that ground is above ground and it's piled in an Earthship, they pile the ground on top of it, or you dig and go underground. And the idea is when, you have those things run for some distance, and when air enters them at the outside,
thanks, Jim,
whether it's winter and that air is cold, or whether it's summer and that air is hot, the idea is that air flows, and you use natural ventilation to kind of get that air to move at a reasonable speed, right? Not too fast and not too slow. And if that air moves, the idea is that air, as it moves through those tubes, it gets either cooled down or warmed up, depending on the season, by the earth. And by the time it makes its
really
way into the room, you have pretty much a natural either air conditioner or heater. And we've seen it firsthand. It absolutely works. There's no doubt.
I'm trying to get to the question.
It's just a lot easier to build in an Earthship.
If Brian stops talking. But actually, Lynette, there is wood here. We have a lot of mesquite wood.
I wouldn't say we have a lot of mesquite, but whatever.
It's not really enough, though. But we know we didn't use the fireplace before. Will we need to add more to the solar system? We have some to add.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't plan on adding anything to the solar system, except for the fact that, we're using 6 panels right now. We already have the other 9, which is going to be a total of 15. But with the 15 panels and we have 4 batteries right now, and we're planning on using the same equipment, and it should not be an issue. It should be everything we need. So that's the plan, at least. Brian asked about the ceilings. They'll be probably about 8 foot on one side, and since we'll have a single slope ceiling,
10 foot on the other.
We'll see. It depends on how we build the I was going to say rafters, but trusses. So we'll see how much we do inside. I mean, you could actually make the inside flat, but we'll probably have a little bit of a slope on the inside as well. Hey, thanks. There's
Jim.
A link to our Instagram.
So Jim and Jessica didn't want to do the cooling tube. We might not do it either.
Install a cooling tube when they have that hot, huge ditch, and they didn't like that idea.
If it's too labor, I would say labor intensive.
Yeah, I'd love to work it in, but like I said, in an Earthship, it's such a no-brainer. Again, that tube is flat, and it just goes right through the berm that you berm up kind of after the fact. So you can lay the tube in place and then berm over it, and it's flat, and it's really a no-brainer. There are some extra wrinkles involved when you try to do it in our setup here, because it would actually have to start above ground, it would have to dip below ground, it would have to travel, and then it would have to come back up again. And so there's issues of that kind of sunken middle. There's, what if water gets in there? What if condensation happens and things sort of, there are some issues that come into play where with the straight shot of a cooling tube that you have in an earthship type setup, that you don't encounter those types of issues, I don't think, as much as it worries me having this kind of up and down thing, that what if water somehow finds its way in there. And so there are some issues to work out, but there's an outside shot. We might still try to incorporate them, but I'm not sure. I would like to.
Hey, Chad Ryan, we're done.
Just got home from work.
Thanks for stopping by.
So I should have asked this at the beginning. Anybody who's not Arizona, I guess this would be really for the East Coast people. I know the time just changed.
Oh yeah,
hopefully
we don't have daylight savings time.
Yeah, hopefully now awesome. That this is 9 o'clock. We left it at 6 o'clock Arizona time. Hopefully 9 o'clock's not a problem for anybody back east. If it is, yell at us. We could probably do 5 o'clock here and 8 there, but we just left it.
But you eat at 5 o'clock.
We would like to leave it at 6, I guess
time.
I'll say. But if it's really a hassle for it to be 9 o'clock back east, give us a shout and maybe we could try and do something differently. But yeah, we don't think about. It's not that we don't think about it, but we don't have daylight savings time, so it's the same time for us.
It's really nice.
So in Oregon, I guess you're getting it an hour. You're getting it an hour earlier than you did. So.
Are you ready to wrap it up? I'm fading out.
Yeah, I guess we're over an hour. Sorry, y'all. Oh, actually, it's 7 o'clock. We started a couple minutes early, so yeah, we should probably wrap up.
That's right.
Thanks again, everybody. I see we got 20 people and 19 thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming by as always. Hopefully to look forward to. We're going to get back into tire stuff, but it'll be a different set of tires than, so we've already done the outer tires. We're going to start working the inner tires. And then after we get those going, there'll be some backfill.
I'm very excited about
that. It'll start to feel a little more real. It's still, even though we've started and we have the bales, it still doesn't feel super real. There's not anything, there's not a whole lot to look at outside yet. There's a little bit, but not a lot. So it'll be nice to get a little bit further and then it'll feel like there's something being built there. So when are the walls going up? Hopefully start in a few weeks. Hopefully.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Let's
try
for 2.
Maybe that worked out nicely that, it's been very windy. So it might've been a little not.
It's going to be windy again next week. Let's just ignore the wind and let's.
So anyway, thanks everybody.
Thanks y'all.
Thanks everybody for coming. Keep watching. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Share with your friends.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next time. Good night, y'all.
Good night.